In this video, I'm going to give you my review and opinion on one of the best whole house water filter systems for a DIY install. It's made by GE. I'll put a link in the description below on all the parts that I've used to install this. Now, I have had one of these for about 17 years. I did install another one. Here's the old water filter that I've had for at least 15-17 years. This one's going to stay right where it is. This filters all the water in the house, even the outside water faucet. Like when you're washing your car, you don't want to use a rusty sediment-filled water to do something like that. So this one here filters every drop of water inside and outside of the house. Here's the new one I installed, and I put this one in because this is going to filter kind of all of the appliances in the home. And another reason I put in a second one is because that one back there that I showed you, that's kind of a rough filter. It filters at 5 micron, so it does allow some things to flow through. This filter I have in here filters down to 1 micron. So that way, I don't have to be changing filters so often. Here's a up close look at the new one I installed. I did use SharkBite fittings. So if you're just going to cut into your line and install this, I'll put a link in the description below to get a slip fitting. One thing that I don't like about this, and it rings true on a lot of these whole house filters, they're going to come with a pressure relief valve. Don't ever press that. It will work for a little while, but after it builds up a little bit of lime and calcium in there, if you use this, it will never pop out and it will always leak. So just don't ever use it this way. Relieve pressure in your line somewhere else when you change your filter. Now over here on this side, it has a lever so you can shut it off, bypass, or turn it on. Some of the other ones don't have this lever, and that's an important detail and why I recommend this water filter. Now, one big reason I recommend this filter because it has a vast variety of different filters. You can get this woven filter that filters just sediment only. You can get these 1 micron filters that filter just about everything. You can also get carbon filters that filter out odor and taste. It's one of the most popular filter sizes. One thing it does come with, it has this little reminder. So every 3 months this thing will light up and tell you that you need to change your filter. I've never used one of these because water is going to vary from house to house. I can go 5 months before my filter even starts to look dirty. So if you do want to use this little reminder and you want to change it every 3 months, go right ahead. But I'd usually just go by visual. That brings me to another reason I recommend this filter. There's a lot of filters that the housing is either blue or it's solid white. You can't even see the filter. So you might be taking it apart, changing a filter that doesn't need to be changed. Whatever filter you guys decide on buying, make sure it has a clear housing. That way you can actually see it working. Now, in order to change the filter, we need to shut this off and relieve the pressure. It does come with a filter wrench. And this model also comes with a filter. A lot of them don't come with a filter, but this one actually does. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this valve off, and then I'm going to go downstream, turn a faucet on to relieve pressure, and then we'll change this filter. We're going to turn that lever right there to the left. Now it's shut off. Now I'm just going to open up the faucet just downstream from this filter. Now that we've relieved pressure on the filter housing, we're going to go ahead and change that filter. Filter wrench, you just slip it over the housing, line it up with these grooves. It's not going to go all the way up to the top, it's going to go about halfway up here. And simply turn to the left. And then there is going to be water inside here, so just make sure that when you take the housing down, you don't tip it because you will spill water out. I'm just going to dump the water out of the housing and throw the filter away. Now if you take a look inside the housing, there is a kind of a raised lip inside there, and that's where the filter is going to sit. One more thing I want to tell you, there is an O-ring at the top of the ear, and I usually replace this O-ring about once a year because you don't want that to leak or get damaged. Now I also may put a little bit of plumber's grease on this, or if you don't have that, maybe just a little light coat of Vaseline, something to make sure that this O-ring stays lubricated. So we'll just take the new filter, slide it down in there. Now just make sure that you raise your housing straight up and that you haven't made it crooked so that the filter goes off of that raised edge. Make sure that you're installing it straight. And once you get it hand tight, you don't want to over tighten this. Just get it hand tight, put your filter wrench back on, and just a little bit of snugness is all you need. You don't want to over tighten it. Now we'll go ahead and turn this valve on, but make sure you turn this valve on very slowly. So just let this build up pressure slowly before you turn the valve all the way on. Once it's all the way on, go ahead and open a couple faucets, come back down and double check and make sure that you have no leaks. So in conclusion, the reasons I recommend this whole house filter over others, the wide variety of filters, you can get them at big box stores or Amazon. It has the lever for the on, off, and bypass. Some of them have like a wrench turning style. This lever style works a little better. It has the clear housing so you can actually see the filter and see the water flowing through it. The O-ring, you're going to want to replace that once a year, and that's easy to get as well. Amazon or a big box store, they all have them. And relatively low cost. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.